We're back with the faces of evil.
And as you can see, the
boy.
title refers to the faces that are all over the world map. Faces of evil, like literally faces.
Which really don't have much to do with anything, so...
That and
At
Yeah.
yeah, wants to
tried
make
to
Link
have
the
a
greatest
theme.
face in Mordai.
Or
else he will die.
It's not like Ocarina of Time, where the Ocarina is an actual plot MacGuffin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of the games, the title actually means something. In this, it's just sort of a set piece. Doesn't really do much.
No, I believe
Why
the
the
faces
Gamon
of
actually
evil
means
are. I think the faces of evil are referenced by all the deranged animation you see when you watch the animations in still frame.
Oh god, that jump looks so stiff. I don't blame you
It is
for
very
falling into
stiff.
that pit.
It's not quite Castlevania 1 Simon Belmont stiff.
And obviously cut.
Well, in Castlevania, when you jump forward, you can't stop until you land, I think.
You can't control anything.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same way here, except for somehow the jump in Castlevania actually feels better.
Do you have invincibility frames?
No, none whatsoever.
Ooh.
There are no invincibility frames in this game.
Look out
gonna-
for the pebbles! Oh no! The cocoa
This is-
pebbles will totally make you explode. Look out.
This is
Oh,
gonna be
dodge-
fun.
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. This game becomes 5 times harder when you get hit and you lose your the sword.
Well, that
sword
happens
beams.
in every single Zelda game, though.
No, not every single one
Not
does.
every
well,
single one,
everyone
but
with
this
the
game
sword
is
beam.
probably the worst.
To my knowledge, the only time you can really even do the sword beam is Zelda 1, Link to the Past, and
Link Between Worlds.
yeah.
No, Zelda 2 has
Well,
it
the
too.
point
No,
is that
Zelda 2 has it. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, the point
But
is
that
like, in
one's
Zelda-
very different, but...
But yeah, in Zelda 1, 2, and whatnot, when you have the sword beam, it's pretty nice, but you can still do fine without it. If you don't have it here, you're going to have a lot harder of a time getting by.
Hey, I couldn't do shit without the sword beam in Zelda 1. But
Well, that's you.
The way the enemies and the environments are made is just, if you're close up to an enemy, you're going to take damage. It's just going to happen, regardless of skill level or anything. So, yeah, you want the fucking sword beam.
Right there in that pit where I died, that's because of a weird glitch with jumping. If you swipe your sword while you're jumping, you will actually pause in the air until you're done the animation.
Which cancels your momentum, I take it.
It cancels your momentum until you're done with the animation, in which case you start moving forward again.
What?
it's like,
It's weird because It's weird because I've experienced that in games before, but I can't think of a concrete example.
I can't remember either.
The only times I can think of it is like games where you have like a super duper fancy move and then where like everything stops for for a flashy animation, not just for like a basic sword swipe.
Well, the sword swipe doesn't cancel your up-down momentum, just your left-right momentum, right?
Yeah, that really.
So
screws
you'll
you over.
still keep falling, you just won't move forward anymore until the animation ends, and then you'll start moving forward again. So it's like...
It's like Link's version of swimming in air to prevent falling down a bottomless pit.
I like to mention, this woman looks a lot fatter in animation form than... Okay, I've seen that like 6 times now in different videos. What is it from?
It's Yukino Joe. Yukino Joe.
Yeah.
Yukino Joe. Gruesword. Yeah, Gruesword. It's in it. We can link it in the description, or I can post a link on the comment section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, Link! It's Groose. His
Gang of bullies! Or if it isn't Link, or should I say, Stink?
I'm scared!
Okay.
By the way, right here, you see where I'm pretty much pausing to kill all the flying enemies, the Galapagos, I think. This is probably one of the most bullshit parts of the game, but like when you have a flying enemy, they'll spawn anywhere between 5 and 20 out of thin air. And here's the catch, if you start moving, they'll spawn more than 1. So
This
you
game
can have like
makes-
a swarm of 3 going at you at once.
This
Jesus.
game makes Mega Man look like it has an intelligent and well-designed respawning enemy system.
Okay, so that's why you keep stopping to deal with the flying enemies. I was wondering.
Yeah,
So what, did you just go into the code and look up all this stuff, or?
Wait, say that again?
Did you like go into the code to look up all this stuff, or is there like a fact you found?
There was one where basically, there's this guy who did an extensive interview with the guy who did the game, and he said if you stop to deal with all the flying enemies, it's just fine. If I can link you guys to the article afterwards.
Oh, there's a way around our shitty programming.
Watch your language.
And thus began YouTube poops. Yep.
It really was the CDI games that spawned YouTube pooping, right?
That and
Yes.
Dr. Rabbit.
Yeah, that was really the one that got everybody to notice, at least.
But
The king's unreasonable demands. Once you've scrubbed all the floors in Hyrule, and once you've scrubbed all the floors in Gamelon, and once you've scrubbed me, once you've ordered pizza.
The one that I really like, though, I'm trying to think, it's Quantum throws King Harkinian into financial chaos.
Yeah.
Just the title of some of these just make me laugh. But you guys seen well, I'm pretty sure Ryan has. I'm not exactly sure. Lou. You guys seen Nick Arcade, have you?
Yeah.
nah.
You know,
No.
the final segment of Nick Arcade where they're inside that virtual reality segment where they themselves are inside the video game with shit collision detection, which prevents them from getting their mountain bike or whatever system was popular when Nick Arcade was released.
Super Nintendo.
Sega
Sega Genesis.
Maybe.
Wait, they were inside a video game and there was shit collision detection.
Well, because it's a kid running around with a blue screen behind him, and
This is late 80s technology, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, as in shit collision detection was a consequence of having bad special effects rather than them being intentionally clever. Okay, never mind. I was
Well,
about
if they
to
had
say.
decent collision detection, I'm sure
Ah!
they would have raked up the difficulty a lot.
Ow, my eyes.
Not many left, Link. There's
Man,
room
April O'Neil
around the
sure
third
did
planet.
sure let herself go.
among other things.
Yeah, that's totally not the only problem.
At some point, she grew a chin.
That became a man.
Speaking of which, the 80s Turtles are getting another reference in the current show, I think.
Of course.
I don't watch the current show.
I just saw a clip of it, and once again, the modern show is saying, "Why do we look like dorks?" It's like, why does every new Turtle show have to say, "Oh, the '80s show is stupid"?
The 80s show was kind of stupid.
It was
honestly.
kind of stupid.
Well, yeah, but it's just one of those. It was a different time. It's like, okay, we get it. The '80s show is lame in a cheesy way. Get over it. You don't have to try and make yourself feel better by riffing on the one that everyone started with.
It's kind of like
It's just
Yeah.
it's kind.
I guess it's just an easy target, I suppose.
It's
I guess.
always come across as playful mocking to me and not like angry mocking. If that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
At the same time, though, it's kind of like DMC's wig gag. You're just gonna make the fans angry. Don't do it.
Well, I think the DMC wig gag was a little bit different in that there's the whole making fun of the 80s Turtles thing. I think they may have done that in tongue in cheek and whatnot, but the DMC
the
wig
joke
gag
of
was basically
the
just
ac-
one giant fuck you.
Well, the actual joke of the wig gag isn't actually even in that scene. It's because Dante gets white hair at the end. I think they didn't mean it as an insult, and just so much as, oh, right.
they knew what they were
Yeah,
doing.
they knew what they were doing.
Why are we going back?
Why are
because
we
the
going
shop's
back?
right there.
Because you left the oven on.
Oh. That is... That
I think
We had
that's
to
the
go
only
visit
time
our
I
good
actually
friend-
leave farming in.
That house looks so tiny from the outside.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
visit our
ducking
good friend Morshu.
and hitting button 2 is the only way you can pause the game.
Ducking and hitting 2?
You see, the whole controller thing for the CDI was incredibly confusing because it came out with
Hold on,
like
I'm-
6 of them.
I'm
There was
looking
one
at-
that
I'm
looked like
looking-
an
I'm looking at the
SNES
CDI
pad.
controller now.
There was one that looked like a Genesis controller, and there was a wireless one, and there was one that looked like a giant spoon.
What?
I'm looking at the spoon right now. But, yeah, one looks like a standard remote with an analog stick. This one looks like a makeshift Super Nintendo controller. There's a mouse. And one looks like a Genesis
I can't
controller.
give credit. Come back when you're a little richer.
You know, dude, I'm trying to save your island here. You see, this is why I hate shopkeepers in games. I'm trying to save the fucking world, man. You can get your profits later. You think that they'd have a payment plan for the hero of dinner?
The hero of dinner.
You know, if more RPGs went with the premise of a role-playing adventurer that was just going on adventures on his own damn time and left the saving the world plot for later, rather than starting with the goddamn saving the world plot like Legend of Zelda tends to, then I could understand shopkeepers actually charging money. Of course.
Well, to be fair, in most Zelda games, I rarely do any shopping to begin with, so.
Well, that's because stuff in Zelda games is always so goddamn expensive.
Yeah, it's easier.
Yeah, I
to
think
just-
Zelda
That
one- I think
never
Zelda
thing's a
one's
drop
okay.
anyway, so.
Like, this game is really just different because you can't actually get bombs or rope on the just in the middle of anywhere. You have to go to the shop.
Oh,
What the hell happened there?
God.
That you can't just turn around. You walk like a couple of feet, and the collision detection is just that dodgy.
Ah, jeez. You know, this section would have been a lot less aggravating for players if that raft were just a few logs wider.
Pretty much.
That raft is the deadliest thing in the entire game.
This is like probably the second most bullshit part of the game, right here.
Only the second.
Is it the steaming Mountain Dew or?
No, the
Yes.
steaming mountain doesn't actually do anything.
Now that
Well, no, it makes you explode on contact.
you know, now that we're staring straight into the face of the most annoying graphical thing in this game, I want to say that the environments in this game,
No!
the
Backdrafting!
the environments in this game piss me off because there's a lot of effort into making everything look unique and giving the environments lots of character and making them look real, but at the same time they're absolute shit because they just don't work in video games at all.
I can't believe that happened.
Time wasted 30 seconds.
Introducing our new pass-through rafts. Buy them now, only $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Management is not responsible for any spontaneous combustion that happens for using this pass-through raft.
Jesus.
No, I can compliment somewhat with the backgrounds. I agree they look pretty nice, especially from a distance when you're squinting your eyes. But the biggest problem here is that you're not exactly sure what you can jump on or
Yeah.
stand on.
That is a
or-
really big problem because the backgrounds, like, I noticed they look really good, but like, yeah, sometimes you think you can step somewhere, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to do the whole making the backgrounds look three-dimensional thing, and they completely and utterly fail at giving enough perspective that players can tell what they can and can't step on. And you know, that bugs me because other games tried the same thing and succeeded perfectly. Like the Disney games on the Sega Genesis, The Lion King and Aladdin, all did the same thing with their environments, and you could always tell where you could go and what you could jump on and what you could interact with and what you couldn't.
Well, it's a double-edged sword though. At the time this game was made, because I get what they were going for. They were going for organic.
By the way, I
Mhm.
hate to interrupt you guys, but I just realized something. Link was
What's
just
that?
fighting a bunch of Octoroks. Why wasn't he eating them?
Oh,
Wasn't
because
so-
he's not
no,
that
wrong
hungry
game.
right
He
now.
wasn't so
Yeah, he's-
hungry he could.
Yeah, he's not that hungry yet.
Okay.
But you look at the backgrounds, and you'll see that there is not a single straight line anywhere. And that's usually what they mean by organic backgrounds, is that you can't define anything by basic shapes, circles.
Except there are in
squares,
nature,
triangles.
so.
No, but it's one thing to have backgrounds organic, it's another thing for hitboxes to be organic. And back then, unless I'm mistaken, if anyone wants to correct me, I think hitboxes were still rather primitive. It's either boxes or rectangles, your occasional slants. You're
Sonic
limited to
games
that.
had better collision detection. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Sonic games had a budget. Like, you look at the artwork, and what makes me really sad is you can tell that I think that these people actually were trying, which makes it so sad. Because, you know, there's a lot of bad games where it's just obvious that they didn't give a shit. I can believe that they might have given a shit. Maybe half. I'm not sure.
Well, these backgrounds are made in Cambridge.
Yeah. Boston
Your fault, Ted.
represent. No, I went over this. I was a sperm when this game was being
I can
made.
still blame you.
These enemies are bullshit, by the way. They
Well,
hover around you.
when is fighting a meteor head on never?
Well,
bullshit?
what I want to know is, did they like design out levels and then make backgrounds for them, or did they make backgrounds and then design levels into the backgrounds? Because stuff like this tiny ass little crack here that you're supposed to fall through, how are you supposed to know that you can even go down that?
Because I can't think of an answer. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Talk to Mr. Squadala. I know he has a name, but I can't remember what it is.
It's Wanham, but let's just face it, it's funnier to call him the Squadalaw guy.
I always call him Squadalaw.
Yeah.
So.
I just call him Magic Carpet Guy.
Do you need the snowballs to kill the great balls of fire?
Yep, you do. And the fire dyers.
Pretty much any fire enemy dies with snowballs.
Yep, that's like
that's
the
so
one.
pathetic.
That's like the one RPG element this game has. You have to collect snowballs to kill fire enemies. You have to collect the fire stones that they drop in order to kill ice enemies. And the only way that you start the cycle is by collecting snowballs from the moblins at the beginning of the game. That's why I was farming them for like 3 minutes in part 1.
Lost.
Yes.
Frightened.
Yes.
What?
Confused.
Yes.
Good!
Okay. Well,
Squadalaw, help me!
Nope.
so
You're on your own, fucker.
So was that the human incarnation of the intelligence, of the collective intelligence that created this game, or something?
I think it was just a clip from a YouTube poop.
That's just
There's a
Diamine.
clip from Wand of Gamelon, yeah.
So you're doing that thing you were talking about now, right? Where you just need to wait until they're done spawning, and then...
Pretty much, yeah.
Well,
But yeah,
yeah,
like that
the
particular
game-
diary right there, you have to kill it with a snowball. Otherwise, if you just hit it with your sword, it's not going to do anything. By the way, the other thing that I just thought of, none of the enemies in this game look anything like actual Zelda enemies.
Well, no, they're like the premise of the enemy is there. They're just taken to their like evolutionary extreme. Like
They've
what would
been
an Octorok?
CDI-fied.
Yeah, yeah. We must stop this disease.
they're trying to go organic with the enemies too. The problem with that is, they don't look
Oh
very
boy,
good.
a ring pop! I haven't had one of these in forever.
Oh, it does look like a ring pop. Jeez, that takes me back.
Yeah, well, we got the fire diamond.
Yep.
Oh, the red flavored ones? Aw, I wanted lime. Damn it.
It's
I'm
very handy that the fire diamond was right next to the exit. In fact, it makes me think we should have come in the back door instead.
Why doesn't Mega Man just warp to the boss room?
Those back doors actually open up new worlds, so no, you can't go out the back exit, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have been done with this game in like 10 minutes.
I was wondering how that world map worked, actually. So you actually can't access all the levels to start.
No, you can access, like, I think 5, and you can complete the game any way you want, but I think, like, this is probably the fastest, or less cheap, I don't know.
the no bullshit run. I get you. Okay.
Got it.
Oh, there's plenty of bullshit.
Oh no, you can't avoid it entirely, but I know
The
I'm just
relatively
giving-
not
just giving-
quite as
yeah.
high bullshit route. Yeah, that doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well.
Yeah. Alright.